Hello everyone, my name's Destroy and welcome back to some more Phoenix Point. As you can see, I'm still doing a voiceover. That's really cool, yeah. Like I said in the last part, unfortunately the first part, and this is without me speaking during the video, so you're not gonna have that on camera react. On camera? What am I talking about? Sorry. My great voice without me doing a voiceover, so that's cool.
Research complete.
This right here is the atmospheric analysis. I can't speak today, so we'll just call it the atmosphere. The atmosphere is pretty much in danger as there'll be mist zones. Mist zones are very easy to understand. Inside the mist, bad. Outside the mist, good. Yeah, that's really all you really need to know about it. If we fight inside the mist, the Bendorian virus, primarily all those enemies will fight. I won't say harder. It's more like we'll just get the harder variants of most enemies that can spawn at that point in time. So you don't want to fight in the mist ever, really, unless you have to fight in the mist. But I'll get back to you once we get back to something more important. Manufacturing. Looks like I got back to you. Manufacturing is also something that's very important. Unlike other games, strategy games like this, or turn-based tactic games like this, you actually have to make pretty much everything you use, including guns, weapons, armor, ammo for said guns, and other forms of materials that you may or may not use during your campaign. Because of this, it's really, really hard to really maintain all of that. But you still gotta do that anyway. Manufacturing is pretty much one of the main parts about the game that you gotta remember to do. Make sure you always manufacture enough ammo for any type of fight you get yourself into, or you may find yourself unprepared and, well, dying within the next couple of turns. And Omar had an upgrade last time, and I don't believe I ever resolved it. I don't think he gets resolved here either. I don't know. He might be getting the brawler trait, but then he also might get the trooper. It does seem like me to do that. I do love troopers. They're just really good. Cautious is really bad, so I never take that ever. But it's between the two of either trooper or brawler. I'm 90% sure I do just choose brawler though, as having a good melee class character is always, forever will be just good. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And we'll get to why melee is good, but that'll be in a later part. Right now, I don't think I actually explained it, so. Yeah. Then we have the satellite scanning. Satellite scanning essentially just scans any type of things around us. As you saw before, we didn't really have much, but with satellite scanning, I will be able to see a lot more. Therefore, I can go to places, explore them, and by going to those places will also allow me to basically scan a little bit around the area and go a bit further every time. Very simple. I wouldn't say easy, but simple. So I'll get back to you once we start doing some scanning. In the meantime, just read. Or not. And there's now something I gotta tell you guys again, which is research. If you ever played in a game like XCOM, you know what research is. Research is basically, well, you research things. This game, though, is a bit different. Unlike XCOM, where you can only research one thing at a time, you can actually put multiple things in queue for research. And like other things that you'll see in this game later on, the more research centers you have, the faster things go. Overall, you just want to research primarily anything easy at first. I generally like to go for the harder things myself because I just feel like it's easier to get those out of the way earlier instead of later where you might need to do something easier to get some other paths unlocked. As you can see now, I have a bunch of things to scan, so I'll start going over places to scan. Ah, Dreamers Awaken. This right here is going to be our first little mission, and a dangerous one at that. Though, I actually don't remember if anyone does unfortunately perish here. Guess we're just gonna have to find out, won't we? But yes, for the Dreamers Awaken, this is basically, we're introduced to New Jericho. So, one thing I don't think I mentioned, but I might have mentioned in the first episode, which is there's other factions. Let's go. In these other factions, we have New Jericho is one of them. New Jericho, the best way to put them is, well, I think you'll see for yourself once we get down there. Ah, grenades. Grenades are basically big explosions, as per usual. I mean, you know what a grenade is, naturally, I would hope. So I don't have to explain them too much, but they basically just cost 2 energy to throw. You throw it at a max range of, like, I think 15 tiles. They have decent explosion radius, and they hurt. They can break limbs real easily and are very deadly. It's really good to throw a grenade, not good to have a grenade thrown at you. For right now in this mission, I'm just kind of spreading out.
Here comes the Phoenix.
I've played this mission before, as I know. It is basically every faction has their starter mission that you have to do when you first find them. Each one's different, but they handle over pretty easily. Kind of. This is, as I'll say right now, the most dangerous starter mission in my opinion, because so many things can go wrong here very quickly, and it's very easy to lose a soldier in a humiliating way. But as you think you're safe for just 1 second, and then you find yourself face to face with, well, death.
Let's make this happen. I know how to do it.
Let's go.
And there's our first look at New Jericho's soldiers. These guys are, well, the best way to put it is like Phoenix Point, but better in almost every way plausible. I'm not gonna lie. They have better armor at the cost of them being a tad bit slower, and they have better damaging weapons at the cost of them not having as much burst, meaning overall if your character's inaccurate, they're more likely to just not do much, but the more accurate they are, the more damage they will do, guaranteed. As well as they just have more armor penetration, meaning they can do a lot. Here I find out I can switch stuff between my soldiers. I actually did not know that part, but I kind of just gloss over it. And I want to go over their armor, because as you can see here, it's just kind of better than us in every way. I also see that they have the assault training and then return fire. Return fire is probably one of the most scariest things out there, because you'll find very quickly if you don't kill someone with return fire, you can be killed very easily. And it's not a fun experience to be shot back at, especially with New Jericho weapons, since these things are serious. There's
Can't wait.
just put it like this, very easy to die by them. There's a reason I never want to ever go against these guys in any world. They alone are probably the most terrifying enemies I have fought.
On the mark.
Thankfully, Omar hits all. And we finally find out what shock damage is. Shock damage is basically when some weapons do shock damage, and when that shock value goes above the current HP of said character, that character's AP, aka action points, are now reduced to, well, 1. So basically, this guy can only do 1 action, and that's pretty much either just move. He can't even melee unless someone's right next to him. So yeah, he's pretty much donezo. He can't do much, and he's just left there, reeling after the blow, wondering what he's going to do next. Which is probably just fall over and die. But yeah. All sees all their shred. Shred is basically very simple. Every time you hit an enemy, you can shred. Every weapon in the game has shred value. I believe at least a minimum of 1. Some actually go through shred, and actually I think the ones that go through shred don't actually have any shred value. But regardless, doesn't matter as we kill them. we already know about Overwatches, as you'll see if you saw the first episode. Or should I call it episode, or should I call it first part? I think we'll call it part. Episode seems a bit too much TV-like. Yeah, we'll go part. So if you saw in the first part, we did Overwatches, so we already know what those are.
You're gonna get it now.
And that's our first shot from a new Jericho gun. As you can see, this shows us damage. Damage is pretty simple. Everything does damage. Though armor reduces that value of damage that's done to you. So you want to have armor. Having too much armor will probably make you slower. Having not a lot of armor will probably leave you dead in 2 hits. As you see here, I'm going to try to aim for that guy that's up there. I cannot hit him, unfortunately, for where I am. I think Tyrone's just unfortunately not going to ever aim or not ever hit from a very far place, so I don't really use him. So we got to take down this guy here.
All I need is a clear shot.
This is me debating whether I should shoot that, but I realize it's probably not worth it. So I just target center mass and Tyrone. He hits 2 shots, which is pretty good, actually. I don't know. Did I call him Tyrone? What did I call him that? It's Omar. I should give them null nicknames eventually. So hopefully I'll remember it. But right now I still don't have a nickname for them. So they're all nicknameless.
Oh!
So we take out this new Jericho soldier pretty easily, which is good because he shot first and we were already kind of terrified.
Finger on the trigger.
This guy we missed horribly. So we decide to just pretty much run up and try to get on him. Though I do probably take it a bit slowly.
Like the wind.
Here we go. Take this.
And now we were introduced to some of that new Jericho damage. As you can see there, pretty serious. It's really damaging, I'm not gonna lie. Like, getting hit by that twice, or just having one super, not to call him super soldier, but just having one decent new Jericho soldier hit you once is already enough to make most people reconsider their life choices. It's one of the main reasons why I'm actually very scared of this mission. As, I'm not gonna lie, I think the first time I played this game, I lost this mission, and I lost the game immediately because I just didn't take it seriously. And therefore, I lost like 3 or 4 soldiers. And that pretty much ended the entire run. These guys hit hard and they just kill you very fast.
Oh!
As you see there, I decided to go for the bash option. Bashing also does shock damage, weirdly enough. Though, you're rarely ever going to get enough damage alone to
Pushing on.
stun them or daze them. But with some lucky dashes up here, since we can do it twice, we can pretty much get good line of sight and just kill the guy. Or at least weaken him long enough so he can get dazed. But as you can see there, that armor really does protect.
Gotcha.
And then that return fire, thankfully the guy actually misses almost all shots.
Here comes the Phoenix.
As you'll see, I'll start overwatching this massive area just in case he decides to jump off or something else happens. Now he decides to just shoot Omar here, which, as you'll see here,
Out of my property.
this is the thing I was kind of scared of because I do stuff like this, which almost gets people killed. Almost gets people killed. But because I do stuff like that, you can see why I say I'm kind of scared of this mission, because I don't play things safely usually, and that leads to almost near-death experiences.
Providing assistance.
So we get Omar healed up, and then we start beating the brakes off this guy. And just like that, that is a mission complete. We got 2 level ups, 1 majorly injured person.
I had always assumed the Phoenix Project would return one day, even after Symes disappeared. It seems to be the defining pattern of your history. Fall, then rise again. I wonder if this points to an underlying weakness or an underlying strength. I suppose time will have to tell. Time and the choices you make. After all, you are not necessarily defined by what has come before. You can be whatever your will allows you to be. That is the essence of the human experience. That is why I did not intervene. We could have stopped those soldiers ourselves easily enough, but I needed you to see, to understand that far more is at stake here than just our ecosystem or our genetic purity. We are being robbed of what makes us human, our will. I fear neither the utopians at Sanhedrin nor those Anu fanatics really understand that. If you can recognize the real nature of the threat, perhaps we can work together on stopping it.
And as you guys saw there, that was Tobias West, the man with the plan himself. That was New Jericho. He's basically the entire leader of New Jericho, while each haven has their own sub-leaders, sub-leaders that we have to talk to and deal with every now and then. Tobias West is the main guy who runs New Jericho as an entire faction. And now we get to learn about recruiting soldiers. What do we do good for a haven? Any type of haven. We basically get to go back down to that haven and come back and maybe recruit some soldiers every now and then. If they're doing soldier recruitment processes or anything like that. But as you also heard there, he also kind of name dropped the other 2 factions that we'll kind of have to be working with or working against, depending upon how you see it.
Research complete.
You see, we're learning a bit more about Mist Sentinels, what they can do. Overall, researching most enemies doesn't accomplish much. Sometimes you get something, but most of the time you just can get more damage against said enemy. And that's really about it. Researching enemies is overall, I don't want to say underrated, but not the best. It's one of the main reasons why I don't always research them automatically. But some enemies I will, because you do gain certain benefits, though I don't know the benefits for each and every enemy in the game. You'll see our go here because, well, I need to explore things in the mist first. And I find we got ourselves a little scavenging site. I decided to go for it automatically, but as you can see there, we had a medium threat. And that's because we're in the mist. And anytime you're in the mist, as I said, things get a lot more dangerous real fast. So I decided to go upgrade these soldiers immediately instead of waiting till their next upgrade for something better. And welcome to some scavenging missions. Scavenging missions are very simple, very easy. I know I say that a lot. Oh, I really do say it a lot. I should probably stop saying that. But regardless, They are pretty simple. We just go get these little boxes here, get what's inside them, and then we leave. For the most part, we take all the resources parts, so any research, materials, or food we can
Reporting
find.
enemy
and we take that.
finger on the trigger.
As you see here, first we find a little mist sentinel. These guys, I mean, they aren't hard. We've seen them before. They just spread a bunch of mist around, though they are very annoying, especially because if we don't see them
Let's
first,
do this.
they can easily just activate.
Lining up a shot.
As you can see, this one did. And then just start spreading some mist before we can do much. Because it's already about to activate and all that, I'm just immediately going to start shooting it up and trying to get rid of it as fast as I possibly can.
Come get some. Hostile damage.
And then with our sniper, boom. Just like that, I'm missing the null down.
Moving in quick.
And see here, we see this little Triton. Now, I don't believe we've seen a Triton before yet. Though I may be wrong once again. This is a couple days after, so I've seen these guys a bunch, but you guys might not. Tritons are basically, the best way to put it, very smart. They're the smartest version of an enemy we can get currently, and these guys do pretty decent damage. Their whole thing is right now, they regenerate a bunch of the body parts and they drain our own HP to heal themselves. Very annoying bastards, but for the most part, we can easily get rid of them just by shooting them. They aren't too strong,
Finger on the trigger.
though they are a lot faster and they're a lot more stealthier and they're more likely to take cover, unlike these Arthrons, I believe they're called. As we first open our own crate here, we get a bunch of resources that we just take and take and take. There's an over-encumbrance meter, as you can see there. When we get over-encumbered, we just move a lot slower. It's nothing real new. Annoying, but nothing real new. And because we have such good accuracy, I decided to do this. We missed like almost every shot, except for like 2. It's unfortunate. I really should have just taken the shot at the guy at the ground, but it's whatever.
Rolling out.
We get some more supplies, which we automatically take first, and then we look at what we can take here. We decide to take some ammo, and then we decide to probably take... What else do we take? Some more ammo! We'll drop the ammo that we aren't going to use, and then take the ammo we might use. Or do we take the medkit? Never mind, we guess take the medkit. That medkit probably will not come in handy later, but I don't know. They aren't too expensive to make, but we do like medkits as they are just nice.
Already there.
Nothing's getting past me.
Going in. Let's make this happen.
So as you'll see here, I made a slight error. I forgot these guys can actually jump really high, so he was able to just jump up to me and start hurting. Now thankfully, because of that, you can't actually go too far away from me. But regardless, You can see here, they're both kind of starting closing in, and I get a tad bit worried. Though, it's probably not going to be too much to worry. You see here, I start seeing if I can get down here relatively easily with at least some blue moves so I can kill this guy. And I find out I cannot. I find I can make it to this guy, but not this guy. As I'm sitting there deciding, oh, whatever shall I do? Whatever shall I do? I think I make one of the best choices I have made in a while, which is just say, screw it. We gotta get somebody to kill. 2 enemies. So, I believe after switching to you, which you can't do much, so we just continue to move forward anyway. And deciding that none of these guys have guns or anything like that that can actually hurt me since they're not actual people, I could decide probably it's best to just move forward, look where all the boxes are, and start collecting them up.
Let's rock.
Be right there.
I go right here and I start bashing this guy's head in. With one hit, I easily dispose of him. Once again, that melee, as you can see there, it's really good. It actually kind of makes me regret not going down there and hurting the other guy that's fighting, but I decided it's best to just run away from him for now as I continue on with my turn.
Moving in quick.
Area covered.
After overwatching into my turn, let's see what we get here. I luckily do see a guy, but unfortunately I miss every single shot on him, which is kind of be expected. These guys are very evasive and very annoying. One of the main reasons I hate these guys is because how sneaky they can get. And as you see there, he tactically takes cover, deciding not to be shot by me anymore. But it's mainly this guy I was really worried about, since I know you can definitely sneak up on him. He unfortunately hits into a wall, which is highly unfortunate. But this is where he just kind of dies, as I just say, oh really? Bop. And bop. Killing him right then and there. Now, one thing you will notice is every time I bash with a weapon that is not designed for melee, it will damage the weapon. So, it's one of the main things you actually do gotta look out for when you're doing melee. Especially with non-melee weapons. You don't want to accidentally destroy your own weapon trying to kill someone else, and then you're left with nothing. I then decided to kill this guy. Very simple for you. I really do say that a lot. I need to stop. I'm sorry, guys. I just realized while doing the voiceover, because I'm doing it at different parts, so each part's a bit different, so sorry if it's a bit weird. But it's just odd. I don't know why. I just noticed I kept saying that over and over again. So now I'm pretty much just deciding what else to do, and I'm pretty sure I just decide to move up. After moving up, I set up an Overwatch just to be cautious. Never know what enemies can be lurking just behind the sights of what your characters can see.
Here I am. Let's do this.
And lucky me, as you can see there, because I set up a nice Overwatch, I get a very quick and easy kill. Yeah, that
No
that
time
was
to
an easy
waste.
kill. He just ran up, got shot, got killed, and now I continue to move up, pushing forward while grabbing some great loot to help my future endeavors in this game. Yes, and the one thing I did forget to mention, yes. Taking loot from any source on the ground or anything like that will always cost one action. This is important to remember, as you might see me do a couple things later on in some other parts because it requires an action. So don't just think I'm being weird or stupid or anything. It does take one action to always open a crate.
Let's do this.
Rolling out.
Nothing's getting past me.
We soon see another Pandorian threat, and after this, well, I mean, we handle it up pretty easy.
Finger on the trigger.
I'm actually not gonna lie, the rest of this mission goes pretty
Hostile-
swiftly. Nothing's truly exceptionally hard about it. We kind of just push through, killing most, if not all, enemies in our sights, and claiming most of all loot. We can't get everything, primarily because it's just going to be really hard, but we can get most things. And because we can get most things, nothing's going to be too hard. We just get most of the supplies, some of the ammo, maybe a health pack? Medikit, I guess we call it, yeah. Actually, I think it is just called a medikit. We get medikits, and then as well as some ammo here and there, and that's pretty much just the mission. I mean, it's not too hard. Scavenger missions are really never too hard because it's early game right now, and unless we're ever going against scavengers, which you actually have guns, which can make the missions way harder, we don't actually ever have to worry. So yeah. And that's what we call right there a mission complete. Like I said, the scavenger missions are pretty easy. We only had one person injured. And I mean, he's used to being injured. I was all the way at the beginning too. So yeah, as you can see, they're kind of basic. A bit too easy to always just record. So I'm probably going to fast forward through most of them unless something interesting happens during it. So yeah, just expect stuff like that for next time. Maybe a bit more polished than what I did this time. But yeah, as you can see there, we got a bunch of grenades, some medkits, ammo, some guns. Everything was pretty good. We said head down to base to get our, energies back in order and Omar healed before ultimately deciding to head straight back down there. For the most part, we just find more New Jericho havens over and over again. And then it tells us to activate more Phoenix bases. Basically, that's another cool thing about this game is we don't just have one base. We have multiple bases around the planet. Just most of them are either uninhabited, unactivated, and uninhabited, which, I mean, like, all of them are uninhabited. Sorry, all of them are unactivated. Some of them are uninhabited. Some of them are inhabited by Pandorian virus strains. And I don't think any of them are inhabited by scavengers, so we don't actually have to worry about this. This is a cool temple site we get. Normally we could just take off and leave it undisturbed, but I mean the materials is really what we're after. We have no reason to basically leave a temple standing, as we're more important than some ancient temple right now. Though right now I think I'd be reading it, but nope. Disciples of Inu, which we haven't really gotten to yet, but we'll get to them eventually, don't worry. Kind of dislikes us for not respecting religion, and then the New Jericho people are saying, well, you did what you had to do, which is the smartest case. Overall, after doing this, we lose some stamina, and we decide to go head back after taking our materials.
The more the disciples of Anu invest into this mutation tech, the further away they will move from what New Jericho considers humanity. This is not a threat, but a statement. There is still time to look to reason, not superstition, for solutions, to seek answers in human will, instead of submission to the alien. But that time is running out.
As you'll find, the world is very much living, aka events like that will just happen, where the leaders of said government
This
will...
New Jericho neural tech we've been hearing about. It sounds like a pretty cool technology, really, but has anyone thought about how easily it could be abused by, I don't know, an autocratic leader with delusions of grandeur?
As I was saying, basically, we'll find ourselves in these random events that can happen where we or they will just start basically saying, I don't like you that much. And they will either gain and or lose respect for each other. This can be very dire later on in the game, where they decide eventually to start war because they hate each other. We won't have to see that probably ever, maybe if I'm good. But if I'm bad, which I can't really guarantee, I've never actually beaten the game, so I pretty much am bad. That war most likely will break out regardless. As you see here, this is Synedrian. Synedrians are a bunch of, what would you call them? Hippies, yeah, hippies.
You think so? Because to me, it seems like these principles never find structural expression and are thrown aside all too easily when it's convenient. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe New Jericho is all you believe it to be. I hope so.
Basically, as I was saying, these guys are hippies. Really annoying hippies with actual decent guns and very scary technology. They don't necessarily want to start problems. They want to be peaceful. With their peace, they can shove it. That's kind of how I feel about them. Thankfully, we won't have to do anything for them yet, but eventually we will do a mission for them, and you'll see what I mean. Ah, yes, this. I actually remember this one very well. Favorite thing. Basically, we find a bunch of heads on pikes of New Jericho soldiers. Now, we could go tell New Jericho, but why would we do that when we can just take their helmets? I mean, like, it's such an appealing option to have more armor for our soldiers, especially for the heads. Those are very dangerous. That breaks, that's an easy KO for someone. So, thankfully, we just take the helmets, go back here, and immediately puts them on, because, I mean, like, it's New Jericho helmet, for crying out loud. We want them. I kind of wander about, wondering where the heck is our New Jericho helmets. Until I eventually will find them. And by that, you'll see what I mean when I say I eventually find them. I'm wandering around, I'm wondering, and then I realize, huh? Oh, heavy helmets, aka only one of us gets to have it. Unfortunate, but I'd still take it over nothing, as more protection for the head, no matter who it is, will always help. So now basically I'm just about to start kitting out Omar. So Omar can have decently good weapons and decent options. And then I also make sure to kit everyone else out in proper attire and gear if anything needs to be changed or fixed. After all of that, I then decide it's probably best to start upgrading some of my guys now. Overall, we don't have a lot of good upgrades for every soldier yet. It's just kind of unfortunate as it is. I decide whether to get Warcry or not. Warcry is really good overall. Basically, I just get to reduce actions of multiple people by 2, which can, for a lot of enemies, especially some enemies that may or may not have weapons, like, some scavengers, limit exactly what they can and cannot do, making me pretty confident about what I can do. But overall, I decided it's probably best not to get Warcry just yet. It's a good move, but it's a major investment in the sense of I need to actually look for places to use this. And for a heavy, which is pretty slow, it's not the best. Maybe later on when I eventually upgrade him to something else. But for right now, Warcry is going to be kind of off the tables for maybe a decent while. And this is just me checking the exact reception and armor ratings I get, which, as you can see here, pretty decent. That's an overall 6 armor for heads. That's nice. That will actually save someone. Also look at the upgrades over here for Sato, but Sato overall doesn't have too many things I want. A lot of those things are later on the tree and they aren't exactly really good. I just decided to get Dash since it's another option. We do like it a lot. And then this is actually the one upgrade that will matter probably the most throughout the entire playthrough, because it's just snipers have a really good secondary upgrade, which is just anything they're proficient in, they get to Overwatch in. Very simple. I was about to say it again. I have an issue. I need to get help. Oh, sorry. But yeah, it's basically anything they're proficient in, like any weapons wise, they can just take the Overwatch for 1 less action. Meaning they can Overwatch for pistols for free now, and for certain weapons, only 1 action point, which is really strong. I then decided to just go around, search for another area, place to place, things to explore before the mist spreads out too far and gets certain things I don't want to get yet. After searching around for a bit, I don't really find too much except for more materials and food, until I eventually find these guys right here, hiding right there. These are the Disciples of Anu. Now, we actually don't really see many of them. Actually, in fact, we actually don't see any of the soldiers. We will talk to one of the leaders, the New Haven leader here, but not the soldiers. So I'll explain those guys at another time, but for right now, the whole shtick between these guys is they're a bunch of basically gene replacement people. And they're running into their own issues of poison worms, which we'll have to deal with, well, right now. So as we land in here, this is more of a rural area, rusty place. You'll find that the Disciples of Anu are nowhere near as technologically advanced as New Jericho is, or at least not aesthetic-wise. New Jericho is very society-like, while these people more around running amok and building things out of scrapyards, as you can see. That's kind of mean, to be honest. They aren't actually like this. I just want to say that because this place looks like crap. But overall, we're just dealing with poison worms right now. These guys are really simple, easy. You've already seen them before. I said it again. What the hell? Oh, God. Regardless, these guys are actually easy. They're just a bunch of poison worms. They die fairly easily. 2 hits pretty much kills any of them. So easy that I might just fast forward through the entire mission. I'm not gonna lie. This is like one of those missions where I genuinely could not care less. There's no danger in this mission at all. I don't even think anyone gets injured. Which, I mean, surprise, surprise, who could have guessed? It's a mission with poison worms. I don't know why anyone would have been injured. But yeah. The best thing with this mission is just take it slow. Shoot. No reason to do anything. Poison worms have very low movement. Meaning they can't even, like, move and attack. So you have to be purposely trying to mess up to get hit by these. Or you just didn't see it coming. Or you missed, like, all your shots. Which, these are all valid things that could happen. But, yeah. Since there's no other enemies on this map except for poison worms, I'll get back to you when this whole mission's done. Wow, who'd have guessed that mission was gonna be easy? Woo, do freaking do. So yeah, that was that. That was the first interaction with the Disciples of Anu, and you'll see a bit more here later on. But for right now, I'm gonna end the video off here because this is kind of when I realized the video kind of went really bad and I didn't have any of the audio. So yeah, If you guys somehow liked this mishmash posh, leave a like, maybe even comment saying how I could fix things better. Please actually do that, because I'd like to know. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys again next time.
Normally, when we encounter a potential ally, we first send the Apostle to the Onceborn to check them out. But I'm gonna break protocol to say thanks. Now listen, I'll be honest with you. The Exalted is the only one who has any real answers. Tobias West may be clever and Synedrian may sound great, but only the Exalted is dealing with the world as it actually is. She can lead us out of this mess. Give us lives worth living.